EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida and Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. First play, here's Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
A first down throw for Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Touchdown, Vikings! T.J. Hockenson, 48 yards. And the Vikings go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. But ultimately cannot get this out to the 25. He's dropped at the 23. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up first and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man, that's Gesicki down the field. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And some room to maneuver. Taking it right down Broadway. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 51 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. Vikings had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent.
He's got a man, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins under pressure, and they got to it again. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Some good defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They marched to the end zone the last time out.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. To his throw, caught by his receiver Hill. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house. So they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 7-7, our score after one. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Cook fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Dalvin Cook, so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Trying the power game with Ham. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Vikings have taken the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Cousins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From midfield, here's Tua. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now they send a man in motion right. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. You have the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point and good by Sanders. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert, and he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Out of his end zone, Cousins. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. He's at the 50, the 30. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. That was so well timed. Just a perfect throw on the slant.
Hit him on the move, didn't he? Now he's going against the grain of the defenders coming over to try and stop him. That allowed for that additional yardage downfield.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
On play action, here's Tua. And this one is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 21. Teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Merger said all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Ready?
Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try to find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. They will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more, but this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Cousins to throw. Able to find Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Cousins. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Here's Cousins. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins have just about sewn up this football game. Agreed, that's twice